This time it fell on the tenant's car. There was like talks of a lawsuit. The house lost power, the electric pole went down. There was 2 hurricanes like back to back. A tenant sent me a video of this massive bubble in the ceiling, and it looked like it was filled with water. When that's happening, you're not really in the mood, at least I'm not, to record content. That's the thing. That's when you actually probably should record content, right? That's when you should turn the camera on, you should talk about it, you should write about it, you should shoot about it, because like that's part of the journey. Hey, what's going on? I'm back. I was thinking about just jumping in and starting a video on like a new series on how to get involved in real estate with little money down, and I said, you know what? I'm not gonna do that because that's trash. Like, you disappear for a couple months and then you try to drop a video dropping gems and pretend like you weren't gone for like, 90 to 180 days. Let's not do that. Let me catch you up on where we've been, where we are now, and where we're going in the future, because I think it's good to know, and it's going to impact everyone. Hopefully, you get some value out of it. So I'm in the Airbnb right now, and I think that's one of like the last videos I was dropping about like getting the Airbnb up and running, because in New York it's pretty difficult to operate an Airbnb with all like the regulations. But we're gonna touch on that later. For now, let's discuss everything else, and then we'll circle back to this. So for those of you who don't know, I do have a property out of state that I've actually never been in, and it's currently not making any money. The tenant just left. So last year we had, I'm in North Carolina, there was 2 hurricanes like back to back. I think one of the names was like Milton or something like that, right? Shout out to them. The first hurricane hit the roof. The house lost power, the electric pole went down. So stepped in, spent a lot of money, got it fixed, got the roof done. It damaged the heating system, it damaged the fence. Cool. In less than like 2 weeks, another hurricane came, damaged the roof again. This time it fell on the tenant's car, and they just had enough. So they was like, I'm leaving. Then there was like talks of a lawsuit, so even more money, even though like, it was an act of God, but you kind of have empathy for those things, right? Like, I know it's not my fault. I couldn't control it. It's a hurricane. I have insurance, not worried about it. Nonetheless, tenant was like, I'm over it. They dipped off. So now that house is vacant. There's still a mortgage on it, so you still got to pay for it, but you got to do repairs before you can put someone else inside that property. So my property manager that's down there sent me the videos of what needs to be done. Maybe I might take a trip down there to get that situated, and then, get that up and running again. That's like number 1. Number 2, speaking of roof, actually, I have a house in New York where a tenant sent me a video of this massive bubble in the ceiling, and it looked like it was filled with water. So we had not a storm, but like heavy rain the last couple weeks in New York, and it just kind of like shows you where the holes are, literally, in the roof and what needs to be fixed. So once again, had a team go out there, climb up the top of the roof, try to assess it, and even more money. Also I'm still going back and forth to court with the lady that didn't pay me in almost 5 years, and attorney fees are very, very expensive. So those 3 things already like just been having my mind just like occupied. And then the Airbnb, this summer, we're in May, it hasn't been as booked compared to last year. It's like a pretty noticeable difference. Like, the requests aren't coming in the same. It's just like trickling in. So, I had to focus on that to figure out why it's not getting booked and what I could do differently. It's either price, and I'm pretty fairly priced, but there's improvements I can make in the Airbnb in general just to make it feel better. And we'll touch on that later. But all that to say, there's a ton of fires going on, and when that's happening, you're not really in the mood, at least I'm not, to record content. So, but that's the thing. That's when you actually probably should record content, right? That's when you should turn the camera on, you should talk about it, you should write about it, you should shoot about it, because like that's part of the journey. It's hard, but it's probably the best time to document that stuff and document the experience, because we hear about, people getting out of debt. We hear about people getting into a new relationship, people finding God. We hear about, people getting that new job, but we don't really hear the steps it took to get there. We don't hear about all the applications they sent in to companies before they got that job. We don't hear about how much praying they was doing day in and day out. We don't hear about how many dates they went on to get into that new relationship. We don't hear about how they cut back on their expenses to get out of debt. So it's just like, you just have the finished product versus like the lead up in the journey. And from when I started this channel, if you look back at my first video, the goal was just to document everything. And I kind of lost sight of that. So that's the goal now, again, to get back to that, which is why I'm back shooting in this video before I fixed up the Airbnb, before I have all the new ideas, before I'm showing all these properties. It's like, yeah, you know what, this is it right now. So let me show you what's going on right now so you get an idea. And I think it'll be good because I feel like, I remember when I was coming up, you know, it was useful to see like little bits and pieces of behind the scenes of what other people are doing. That way you get an idea and you could like avoid some of the mistakes that I've made, right? And if it could just help like even one person out there, just like behind, like, I remember Julia was going through that. It wasn't just like all the fluff. I saw the good, I saw the bad. I think it'll be worth documenting and also sharing, because sometimes I document, I just never upload. So that's where we're at right now. And I think, you know, I'm excited for it. I've never felt this good about, like, I know, like, I'll say, and other people say like, yeah, I'm back, I'm gonna shoot content, I'm gonna be consistent. No, like, I feel good, and suddenly your boy has open availability, a ton of time on his hands. So, you know, there'll be a ton of content coming out. There'll be a ton of behind the scenes with real estate, just life in general, and just like tips to help people and tips to help myself, and just, once again, hold me accountable for what, not only just the content, but my goals and where I want to reach, because there's still a lot of work to be done. And I think like the ceiling is so high. So if you have something you want to do, document it, because you'll look back and you'll be like, damn, I should have, like, especially if you know you're going to make it through. Like, if you know you're about to get to the other side, why not document it? If you have that faith, like, yo, I'm going to be fine, I'm going to make it, I'm going to be successful, I'm going to get where I want to go, put it on paper or put it on video and just put it out there. And you never know, it can help someone else and it'll probably help yourself. So that's where we're at right now. And I'm excited. There's going to be tons of videos coming up. I'm even thinking about like workshops and like webinars, like for the community. Who knows? Right now in the link, you may even see a link to a webinar coming up next week. I'll put it on the screen if I decide to do it, but I want to make sure like the community has some type of value, and that even if I drop this webinar and only one person joins, it'll be a one-on-one, and like, you know, we could just talk about like where they are now in their journey and where they want to go, and maybe how I can assist. I'm going to be showing you all the things I mentioned and how I'm going to take care of it, whether I'm taking a trip to North Carolina to take care of that empty house that I've never been in, or whether it's fixing up this Airbnb. Like, I don't even have a coffee table here. It's kind of like, you know, you take things for granted when things are good, and because the Airbnb was so booked, I stopped making the necessary moves to like continuously improve it. And now when I look around, I'm like, bro, I know I can do better. Like, I know, like, there's just like, I had a plant here, the coffee table, I already have it in my Amazon cart, gonna order that. Another mirror here. I have the mirror and I didn't even just like put it up. I'm like, please get booked, like, don't worry about it. But nah, it's like, yo, if you know you can do better, do better. So I'm excited for this. I hope you're excited too. It's good to see you again. Like, I feel like I see you again. Like, yes, you. I feel like I can see you again, and we're back. And we're here to stay. And, you know, that's it. Until next time, I'm going to see you in the next video, and I mean it this time. We're going to wrap up here. And I'm going to go, you know, for now, walk my dog before she starts yelling at me. And, yeah, stay tuned. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be great.